All right.
After you told him.
Be quiet.
Cool.
That was Cammy though.
Oh, that was Cammy. Right on. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Charlie with Athletic Training Geek, and I have my first guest in my podcast is Dennis James. He's a really good friend of mine. We've met since 1990. This is the year I started working out.
That was how old we are.
Yeah, I know. Like a long time ago in the galaxy far, far away. And I wanted to start a podcast and talk about different trainers, different techniques, and all that kind of stuff. But really, I mean, we could just go a little bit about a background. What I wanted to ask you first is, like, were you born and raised here in Colorado Springs?
Yes. I've lived here my whole life. I was born in Penrose Hospital.
A rare native of Colorado Springs.
Penrose Hospital, yeah. Lived here my whole life. No, but we grew up. I grew up, my dad was a weightlifter. We started lifting weights. I've done sports, all the sports. I played hockey from an early age. I wrestled, boxed, and boxed for several years.
What schools did you go to? Elementary school, junior high, and high school?
I went to, elementary. Started out at John Adams.
Yeah.
Then we went to...
That's here in Colorado Springs, John Adams?
John Adams, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's still, I don't know if it's still around, because they closed some of the schools. It's down on the south end of town. And then Lincoln, I went to, for a couple months, but then when Lincoln, stayed there till 6th grade. Then we had moved. I would have went to North. Then I went to East. You went to.
I went to Russell.
I knew that. Because you went to school with Darby, didn't you?
Yeah, Darby and his brother Peter. I
graduated from Wasson. 1980 when I graduated, a long time ago.
That's kind of like a rival school, Wasson. I think they closed down now, right? They just use that as
something else now. It's like like a remedial school or something like that. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah.
I've had some kids go there. Some kids that they go at night. It's just they're, for some reason they had trouble just getting and keeping in regular school. So it's something like that. I don't really know. I don't. And
Wasson is the school that we played local District 11 games.
They still have the games, and they still have games. You can hear when I'm here because it's just right here.
Yeah,
it's just right across. You can hear it, and it's like not right now, but during the football season, during Friday nights. Yeah, you can hear the bands playing.
Yeah,
it reminds me because we went to all the games. I didn't really see much of the games.
No, yeah,
like all the time, but it was fun. It was a fun thing to do.
Did you guys have a good football team when you guys played?
I don't think it was outstandingly good. And honestly, I don't really remember.
Regionals.
We did have. I know my sophomore and junior year too. We had an outstanding basketball team though.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so you said your dad weightlifted. Did your mom worked out a lot as well? Or?
No. That
was just your dad mostly.
No, well back then. Okay, you think about it. That was back.
So 70s, late 70s.
In the 70s, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Very few even. There wasn't any gyms. We worked out. We started working out in the garage. Or in the basement. So it was either in the basement or depending where we lived in. And then when it was a garage, little space heater. But then when there was, even some of the gyms, sometimes we would work out at the Y. The Y.
Downtown?
It was just funny because it still has the same weight room.
Oh, yeah.
Back then. But you never saw. There was once in a while there was very few women in the gym, but you know how it is now. Now you go there on any given day, and sometimes there's more women than men.
Yeah.
But it's because over the years it's like they realized. But before women that wasn't where they really didn't belong in the gym. That's not a true statement, but that was what the thought was back then. And then
so it wasn't like mainstream.
Then we opened up like after when I got out of after high school, just a couple years later, my dad had opened up a gym. We opened up a gym called the Iron Den, and then that's when he was really open because that's when a lot more females started to work out. He enjoyed it, it's nice, that was like.
Remember what year that was when you opened it?
84, and we stayed open until probably like. It's hard to remember. Well, it's probably more like 82.
Like 82.
82, because it was only a couple years after I was out of high school. So 82, probably to about 85.
Where was it located?
It was on Sinton Road. Sinton Road, right? Okay. Between I-25 on I-25 between Fillmore and Garden of the Gods Road. And it's if you still go there by the Sinton Dairy, it's like I think it's a golf I think it's a golf shop now or something like that.
Okay.
But it's like the little corner building. It's like, but I always pass it. I'm like, that's where we had our gym. And it was we had our gym, the Iron Den, and there was Gymnastics West right next door, which was a really cool gymnastics place.
Yeah.
And we're good friends with the guy next door, Mark Cummings. So we had that gym, and then I started training people over there. There was no such thing as like a personal trainer back at that in those days.
No,
either.
you were just helping people.
But I would just that was like, and I loved it. We always did that, but we shut down because it was just hard at that time. For just a free weight gym to make it. Plus we weren't very good business. Well, especially me.
Yeah.
I wish I was now where I'm at now or back then. To put more
a little bit more business sense.
Yeah, because I look back and I'm like, how? Because it just could have been so much better. It was fun. I mean, there's a lot of people that still I see today. Rich Brown, okay, Mike, Big Mike Anderson.
Yeah.
All these guys, KJ. In the morning, KJ, these guys were all way back at the Iron Den.
Oh, that's crazy.
So, and then
these guys that we know of at the Flex gym
it was a great gym. People were like, it was like at the Flex where everybody like knew each other and we were friends. We would have like, oh my gosh, we'd have like, we had some great parties. I throw a party and it's like we were like that. It was like have get-togethers like barbecues and it was pretty cool. It was really pretty cool. And we have things going on at the gym and stuff too. And it would but it was fun. But just I wish we could we after that then I just went over to the Bally's.
Yeah, when did you?
Because I can't remember when it was. When it switched from US Women Fitness to Bally's.
I started there
because it used to be originally the Nautilus.
Yeah, Nautilus.
That's how when we first opened our Iron Den. My dad got some of the funding. How we got to do it was, it was part of the Nautilus. It was like there, we came with it was
like
Iron
a franchise.
Den. Well, I don't know how it was working because when they sent one of their. Salespeople. Prince, he was a great guy. Prince Gant, he was a football player. This guy was, but he was a great salesperson. He, taught me how but they were high pressure salesmen over at the. It was Nautilus at the time, right? Was this Nautilus? Yeah. But anyways, was it still Nautilus? I'm asking you, but I don't know if you remember. But
I remember when it was.
I still think it was Nautilus. Anyways, they came from the one. But anyways, but then we bought them out and became our own independent,
gym.
So just because of that. So because. It was, I don't know. It was just there was a conflict and this and that, but anyways, it was just hard to keep open. But then, yeah, because
I was in and out during 87, 88, 89 when I was in high school. I was kind of like I wasn't very consistent. Then right after I graduated in 1990, that's when I started working out more, and that's where I met you. But when did you started? And he was
because after we closed, the gym. Actually, my. Good friend Dan Pearson, he did a lot of. I mean, the guy like he's God, he makes a ton of money now. But I mean, I knew he would be. He was actually a lot younger than I was. He used to walk to the gym. And, he'd skip school to come to the gym and work out.
Really?
The kid was great, but then he would have like these like side jobs like we would do. Like Your Needs Are Us, we would do like odd jobs, painting houses. I loved, especially the part where when we would pour concrete, we would do patios. We would oh my gosh, it was hard work, but you just work, you get the job done, and you're paid. You don't have to put in like hours. You don't like drag it out, man. We get to work, framing. I got good at it. And making steps. I could do steps really good, and
it's kind of like the stories I've heard of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I would just get hard, and I think it was worth working hard, and then. But so I did like that, and then plus I was doing construction, but it was working out, still training. I never ever, no matter my whole life, I've never not been in the gym, for some reason or another.
So you've been doing sports and all that stuff.
But I mean, I've been training,
It was boxing was your earliest sport, or weightlifting? What was your earliest sport?
Hockey, actually.
Hockey.
I started playing hockey. My dad was able to get me in,
like elementary or something like that.
I'm talking like I think because I can't remember the earliest age you could start. It was like 7.
7 years old.
Yeah, but I mean, I was still only like 6, and he got me in because he knew one of the coaches at the at CC.
Yeah.
So he's able, he just kind of no. I'm going to say lied about my age, but we lied.
Right.
I was playing with those kids, it's like, and I got to where I was on, even, as, I grew up, I mean, I was on the traveling all-star team. I was good.
Oh, really?
And then, they started doing wrestling, and along with that too, and did really well there. Like wrestled all through junior high. Went through I did a lot of freestyle wrestling. Took the regionals.
Oh wow!
That's as far as I went with that one. Okay, and then I was still kind of I was still really. I started, but I was boxing, but I was doing all these things, and boxing. Like at that point was just like what I loved the most. Yeah. But not the weightlifting was always a part of anything of my training.
Right.
So I mean that part of it was
no matter what you were doing.
Yes.
You always lift.
I was lifting weights. Yes, but and then it's like so my coach and even my dad had said just focus a little bit more on just one thing. Yeah. And because it was like especially but just and so I did. I mean I just like with the boxing and I kept doing that. So probably like about. Actually, just about till 19 years old.
So
I started coaching, and
I remember you were doing powerlifting.
I did powerlifting. I did at the same time when I was still boxing, because I did my first powerlifting when I was still in high school.
But you did bodybuilding too, because my very first competition in 1991, you were in it. I think.
Probably. I did because then I started. Because I did some power. I actually powerlifted. My first one was even like a. Like in the 123 pound division.
Holy cow!
At this height too, but it's like but it was like. But I remember looking at some of the pictures where my knee wraps stick out bigger than what my legs are. That's funny. But yeah, and powerlifting and did that for several years. All the way up from the, when I really started competing, it was like in the 132s. I went up to I didn't even do 65s, I went to 81s. And then stayed at competing.
You skipped? So 130?
Well, because that's when my body went through. Because everybody, because that's why you tell a lot of, because I was always working out and always. Yeah. And even when I was young, I always thought I looked really good. I was lean and I had even abs all the time.
Oh, for sure.
But then you look at pictures and I'm like, okay, there's a skinny kid who has a little bit of muscle.
I remember you having
because I remember this is like, I'm talking about in high school. I remember walk around like. And then you see some of the pictures. I'm like, oh my God, look at that stupid skinny kid.
That scrawny kid.
Yeah, because
you had abs.
But it's like I started to, I was able to put on weight, from when I got in my, probably in like my mid 20s. Mm-hmm. I did a growing spurt. Even I got some pictures like when we had that ironed in our gym. Yeah. Just when I was really trying to put on weight, and that back then it was just like eat whatever you can. I remember even ordering like a whole Domino's pizza, and I would eat the whole thing myself.
Just bulking up.
Oh shit! I would eat it. That's like it didn't matter. We would go to the it was the Royal Fork or something like that. It was an all-you-can-eat place.
Pizza place?
No, just an all-you-can-eat. Like it's
buffet.
Like what they have a few now. I don't know, the Country Kitchen or whatever. It used to be something like that, the Royal Fork or something. Oh my gosh, me and my friend, we just we plate just plowing down foods, But it's like but I see some of those pictures, and I actually I was putting on weight the wrong way, and it shows. Yeah. But I went to the 81s and I grew in it, but I fell down and then did some bodybuilding, did really well there. I went to the nationals twice. Actually did 3 times. So I did one time in Denver.
Oh wow.
I never got above out of the, in the top 10. But for me that was just like to me that was like for me
the epitome of your career in bodybuilding.
I won the Colorado State light heavyweight. I went up against Bob Brazil for the overall.
Yeah. I remember him.
And
God, he was huge.
But he was. Some people thought, because he looked great, because he had a lot more mass than I did. But some people thought, okay, well, my conditioning was a little bit better, which felt good to say. But I didn't feel like I got cheated either. Always a great guy. He's gone through stuff. But
didn't you have longer curly hairs?
Oh gosh, it was way down, but I had it all. Yeah. Ponytail.
Did you have like a Jerry curl going on too? Not necessarily Jerry curl, but
my hair's curly.
Yeah,
my hair's really curly.
I remember that. It was super long. It was like curly.
Well, that's like I put this on, but it was like it's really curly.
Yeah. I wonder if that's what your granddaughter gets her curly hair genetics from.
I don't know, because
it might be from her father, or
because when I was very young, I didn't have curls at all.
Really?
Just like my daughter Sam, all of a sudden her hair started, but I heard that's what that can happen. I mean, your hair
Just
pattern or something. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. You can ask my ex-wife Karina, because she's a hairstylist, and she's the one that was talking about that, because she says, your hair, the way it grows and stuff, it'll change. So.
When did you? Let's talk about this gym. This is Cobra Boxing.
Oh, this one.
This is in Pikes Peak and Circle location. And so you're doing all these different sports.
Palmer Park, this street is across the street here.
Yes.
Palmer Park and Circle here.
Oh, sorry.
Palmer Park and Circle, right on that corner, the southwest corner, right behind you, where there's the Dutch Brothers on the corner there. And then there's the indoor flea market right there. Plus, we got 2 medical marijuanas on each end of the building.
It's Colorado.
It's funny because there's a medical marijuana on each end of this building, and then right behind the Dutch Brothers, there's another medical marijuana building.
Oh, that's pretty funny. When did this gym open up for you then?
I've been here it's been like 8 years now. It's going to be,
2012.
I got to remember exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I'd have to look.
Oh,
it's been about 8 years, yeah. But I was doing this a lot longer. I started doing it in the basement, and then.
just at your house.
Oh gosh, yeah. I've been doing it, the coaching and stuff for over 20 years now, and I love the sport. I've always been a fan of the sport. As a kid, my dad was a fan of the sport. I mean, that's what got me wanting to box when I was a little kid. I loved it, I loved watching. I like training, and I used to, especially after watching Rocky, because I would run. Right. I would run for like wrestling and stuff too. But while I was running, I'm sitting there shadow boxing and always wanting, because that's something I always wanted to do. And
even though you don't really get
I remember telling my dad, because I knew one of the coaches was Larry Espinosa. He used to work out too. We would see him a lot of times at the Y and stuff too. And I knew he was a boxing coach. And then, he was good friends with my dad.
Who's Larry Espinosa?
I don't think you would know him. He's from San Luis Valley, but he's still around. I know, because I ran into him. He was working at Home Depot, but he's one of the best coaches, that I remember as growing up.
As well, or?
Yeah, he was a boxer. But anyways, to go back to the story is like that. So I just told him, said, Dad, come on, tell her, because I want to box. He goes, okay, have him come in. It's like, but back then, it's like, I wouldn't do this with, and I don't have anything against it, because it's like, I didn't, it's like, you want to, we'll see if they really want to box, because the first day we go there, you're going to spar.
Yeah.
And then we went in there, I remember, being, put me in the ring, Thomas Salazar, and me and him were just banging, and his dad was there, too, watching. He said it was like watching Marciano against Marciano, because we both had noses that would bleed all the time, but beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, right.
And giving right back to each. And it was just like banging, but
You guys went 100% in sparring? Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh, always. No, especially you go in there as a new comer to the gym.
Oh wow.
And it's like and it's from then, and it's like I went on, and it's like I went undefeated my first 3 years of boxing. I went my first 25 matches undefeated, and then I got my first loss.
What weight?
I started
160 or?
No, gosh, no. Charlie, I was just the heaviest I boxed was at 125.
Holy cow! Really?
Oh man, man. I told you, Charlie. I didn't grow till I was in my, But I mean, I was trying to, but I was really strong for that weight because of the weightlifting and stuff too.
Holy cow!
That's my thing. It was like I was one of those punchers that's like I didn't care if I took 10 of your punches as long as I land one of mine, because I know mine's going to hurt.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah.
So you had a pretty tough chin.
No, and I just can't. But it's like because someone said how come you always? Because a lot of times I would lose a lot of the first round, and a good friend of mine at that time, Frank Thomas. We used to call him the demon because he had those eyebrows that would go like that. He goes, I don't know. I goes because I like to take a few punches. I said it was because I like to get a little dizzy. So he started calling me Dizzy Dennis around that time. So because it's like you did. Because when you start taking it, it's like all your nerves go too once you take those first few punches.
Yeah, and you're more relaxed. And
oh yeah, that's what I tell these kids. I mean, it's like no matter what, no matter how many times you've been in the ring, we all get nervous. We're human. But it's like, how do you deal with it? How do you deal with it? So you go over, you guys are doing the Pepper Pig dance. Never mind. you rehearse it in your mind, and you go, you know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Over and over, and it's like the training. It's like this is where it's all done. It's what you put into it to be ready to go. And when you're ready to go, you're ready. The nerves are going to be there, but you just control that breathing, and you focus on what you do have control over.
Let's take it from the beginning.
That's even for anything. Like when I have people powerlifting stuff, it's you just like you don't have control over like all this and this. You focus on what you can control.
Yeah, right.
You focus on your approach. What you've done is like, if you've done the mental rehearsing, for anything like being in the ring, going over in your mind, what are you going to be doing? How are you going to be keeping your hands up, moving your head, this and that. Okay. When you're doing a squat, getting set up, get your feet set, head, how are you going to be sitting back, on the squat, staying focused throughout the motion. You have to have felt a good squat before you can imagine it. I mean, you're going to have the nerves, but you go over, but you don't let that get to you. You go focus on what you do have control over. You get into the ring, okay? You control that breathing and tell them just like shadow box, well, how am I going to start out? You don't focus on, oh my gosh, there's people here, especially when you get to their first boxing match.
Oh, no, sure.
There's people in the audience and they're looking around and it's like, I remember Brandon, that's all he could focus on was...
Well, let me ask you...
Because that's all you can, because it's like all of a sudden you think everybody's watching you all of a sudden and then you don't focus on what's going on. Kind of freeze up.
Yeah, let me ask you. So, what would be the process then? Let's say a brand new kid got the desires.
It depends on the kid.
Got the desires.
I know what you're going to ask. It's going to be. It would actually completely depend on the kid. I mean, I've even had, some kids that come in like they've come even at 5 years old, and it's like, okay, this kid, and he actually understands. I've had 10, 11, 12-year-olds. It's like, okay, they're a little slower. They don't get it. It's like, you don't give up on them because they're gonna get it eventually. They're gonna get it, It's like sometimes you're with your dog, some dogs, they pick right up on something. Some of them it takes, a little bit more patience, a little bit more work, but they get it. Eventually you give them up,
You don't necessarily have
I get some of these kids I make, oh my gosh, look at you now. Look at you. It's like, like my little Christopher over here.
Yeah.
Christopher's only, 7, I think. He's still too young to be boxing, but he's like, all of a sudden he's boxing like, with skill and doing all those things. It's like, so it depends on the kid a lot, but, and how much they put into it, how often they show up, we try to instill because, it's like, but just because, that, but it's like how you like go over and over, just like how, their approach to everything. Like with the effort they're putting in, correcting the mistakes you make, not keep practicing the things wrong. Doesn't mean that you're going to be getting everything right. Nobody does that first. Doesn't mean you're going to be, but you try. And if I try to correct someone, I say you got to make that mental correction, until
but
it becomes
you do
another
obviously
habit.
have to teach some form of technique to.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
That's exactly what I'm saying because, you're to be. That's the way we work on. We work on being technically correct when we're doing stuff, and it's like it's like every time. So like every time you're throwing the right hand. You're bringing your head up like this, okay, or something like that, or dropping the left hand.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I say they've got to make that mental correction, or it won't happen. Because if you don't, it's like because I'll see them on the bag, doing the same thing over, and it's like, okay, stop it. And then for one of them, they'll do this like this. And then I go back to them again, and they're doing the same thing again.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because you've got to. If you don't correct it, it won't happen.
Plus, they have to have that experience doing it, so then you can tell them this is what you're doing.
At first, it's because it's the habit. Okay, if they're throwing the right hand, they're turning it again, and they're dropping their hand every single time.
Yeah, right.
That's just a habit. Like, okay, you can even take a pro. If they don't change some of the habits, like when they go into another fight, say like they're going to have a rematch with somebody, and they don't make those corrections, then there's not going to be any different outcome.
Right, because you're getting caught in that.
You know what?
Mistake,
so you've got to make. You've got to. But it's like, just think about it. Okay, you got a certain habit. Okay, and it's what you do. It's what you normally. You just go right back to doing it. And then when you're practicing, okay, like you're doing your sprints, you're making a mistake off the start. You keep making a mistake off the start. Okay. But when you go back to practicing on the track, you keep making that mistake on the. Okay, you keep making that mistake. When the coach is pointing it out to you, you're making that mistake. But it's going to happen if you don't start correcting it during the practicing. But it has to be a mental thing. And then you mentally have to think about it. Okay, gosh, I do keep dropping that hand, so mentally keep it up. And all of a sudden, that becomes a new habit where you don't have to think about it anymore as much. It's more of an automatic. That becomes a new habit.
Right.
Okay, It's just little things like that. Move, just there's a lot of little things. You watch. Same thing like like when you're doing technique on lifting.
Yeah, same thing.
If you keep doing the same thing, I mean, even like especially it's just like how do you for powerlifting? It's like how do you react like when the weight is like. When you're doing a max RM rep, okay, it's a max. You couldn't possibly do one more. Everything you have, okay, on a bench press it's easier than like say on a squat. People will, they'll bail out of it. They'll start changing their form. They'll roll over.
Right.
It's maintaining that and grinding it out, okay. And you have to be willing to make that kind of an attempt. If the weight doesn't end up going up, okay, you gave it everything you got. You got spotters, they'll take you up. But just you don't bail out. You don't change what you're doing.
Just push through
so it takes a lot, and people don't realize. I mean, to get to that level of a powerlifter, you see some of these. I mean, I was able, and I'm proud of going. I got up to 600. I did a set for a set of 6, but I see some of these guys, even my weight, who are they're 800-pound squatters.
Gosh.
It's like just unbelievable amounts of weights.
Yeah, right.
And but it's. It's a tough, because you understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
To get to where you can, it's hard to comprehend. I mean, it's easy like you're gonna knock out especially with bench. It's not as scary, to get under that. And it's like, just to go ahead and grind up. But on a squat where you're under the bar, or just give every effort you got into a deadlift. I'm not saying the bench is easy. That's not what I'm saying. It's easier. It's easier to get up to prepare.
It's easier compared to the deadlift and the
just
squat.
To be able to where you only have the amount of strength just to do that one rep, you couldn't possibly do another one. Can you imagine what it would take, just to be able to do this, so it's tough and it's hard to, the only way you can get to that level is mental preparation as well as physical preparation.
Yeah.
You got to prepare right, but if you're not mentally preparing, then it's going to be really difficult because it's very mental.
Yeah, and even for a lot of kids, it's foreign to them. When I was coaching Olympic weightlifting to a track team,
exactly, that's another one. You gotta really, especially with the Olympic lifting.
Yeah, doing the snatch and the clean and jerk is very foreign to them, so it's not necessarily comes natural to them. So it's like,
but you understand that because you gotta have,
you
gotta have. I mean, focus. I mean, you see some of those. God, those. I mean, this is some impressive lifting in the Olympics. These little tiny guys. I mean, 132 pounds, putting like 400 pounds over their head.
I've seen videos.
It's like unreal.
I've seen videos of the Chinese team when they start fostering them as little kids, 13, 14 years old, already snatching like 140 kilos, like 300 pounds.
It's unreal.
It's like what? I can't believe how much weight they can lift. It's like
it is impressive. I've seen. It's very impressive to me.
Yeah.
See, that's why when my dad, when he was lifting, this, I think he was still doing it when we were really little, but it's like I don't remember, but he did some powerlifting. But he did the Olympic lifting, and this is when they still had it was just a press, overhead press.
They just
oh my gosh, one of these. Like talk about it. He had a pretty good clean and jerk. I think he went up to I think he went to 165s. He looked good. It was back in those days. He was like
with the tiny singlets.
with the tiny, the one little, but he could. Oh gosh, I mean, he was like close to being like with a 300-pound overhead press. Like way back like this, driving back.
Yeah.
I mean, the arch in the back, but it's like boom.
Yep.
He had, that was a hell of a press. But
that was hard.
Yeah.
I
think there was a lot because I don't know why. I think the reason they might have taken that out because, the more of the shoulder injuries because especially with like a snatch or those just the flexibility.
Yeah.
Just getting. I don't know. I don't really know why. You knew that was in there before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know how. I know you're. Yeah.
Doing watching some old videos of Alexei Vasily.
Yeah, he had more records than any other. Oh my gosh, he would break his own record every single year.
Every meet. And I don't know why people hated him when he bombed out his last competition.
I know.
It's like, the good dude was
but
like.
You know what? Even though he has, because they end up having like a shorter life expectancy, but he was like a king. He was treated like a king in. It was Russian, right? Was he Russian?
Yeah, he was Russian.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's like I know. It's like they talked about. It's like that's why he was. He was like a celebrity.
Oh yeah.
He was the man on top. So yeah, they excelled in the strength sports. They
Well, you definitely know what you're talking about because your daughters have done well in competition in both on powerlifting and also like bikini competitions. Your son-in-law Joe, he's a strong guy.
Oh my God!
I know you coached him. He's a strong dude, man.
And he's like and now I mean he's actually, to me, he's one of the best coaches around.
Yeah.
And I listen to him, and he's just like, and man, he's awesome. How
hopefully I'll get a chance to sit down with Joe and Sam.
Oh, you'd love it. And it's like you talking about, because, but yes, no, I mean, me coaching Joe, no, I've given him, I'll give him pointers here and there, but it's like he does well.
He hurt his knee and he's back.
He's one of those that's like, what I would normally have like, when Sam first met him, it's like, guy, he works out and this and that. I always think, oh yeah, right. But no, he's not like that. It's like he knows his shit. He knows what he's doing.
He's studied.
He does it. So, he does a great job, and he can, I'm not very good at it, but I'm trying to get, I want to incorporate more, but like online and keeping up with everybody, like they'll send in videos, like, and he put he takes the time and boom, boom, boom. It's like, it's like, how I am, but just like doing the body fans. It's like, come on, I got to keep up. I'm like, okay, did I post the, like the workout or something here or something? I got to keep up with modern, right now it's got to be on, social media. It's like, so.
Absolutely.
Anyways, I better get my,
you got to get going. So. Cool deal. We'll have some other videos with Dennis. Hopefully we'll have another time.
I love talking.
We'll talk more about upcoming fights. On my first video, we talked about Deontay versus Tyson Fury.
It's coming up. It's going to be a good one.
I know you said Tyson Fury might take it. What was your definite answer? I forgot the video. You said,
because I'm not going to.
You're not going to make one prediction or whatever, or you just.
Because I can easily go. I'm saying,
because Tyson Fury lost, right?
I'm going to say if it goes the distance, he could lose by split decision.
Oh, split decision.
And he had one. He got knocked out. He got knocked down.
Yeah,
so that was it. But that it ended up being a split decision. I don't know aside from that knockdown, but if he would have won the fight, because I always score a lot of times, not on the fights. I'll just like keep a little notepad.
You just write down. Yeah.
I had him actually ahead, even with the knockdown, because you have to score that 10-8.
Oh yeah.
Even though, but it's like, it was close. I mean, and I don't, it was, I don't know. It's just going to be interesting. That's what I'm saying. If Deontay comes out, he's going to have a hard time because Tyson's got this awkward, herky-jerky style. He's going to be hard to hit, and he's a good boxer.
Yeah.
He throws punches from different angles, and Wilder had a hard time with that, but he did land it, of course.
Yeah.
And if he lands in it, but if he prepares, if he lands some punches, he's going to knock him out.
Yeah.
For sure. But that's if he lands it, or but Tyson has also shown that he can take a good punch. The thing with Wilder is I don't know. It's going to be interesting because I don't know that he's been really tested as far as really taking a clean shot, how he can handle that.
Yeah.
Because you never know with that either.
Yeah. Right. Well, cool. Thank you very much, Dennis. I appreciate it, man. And we'll see you guys next time.
Yes. Peace out.
Peace.